Hi, I'm Poofellie, formerly known as Crystal, and I'm a fashion content creator on a series of platforms. I've come across the same question so many times about where my inspiration derives from. Known as a fashionista or a diva, and I was a girly girl that still made room to spend time with my cousins and my little brother. I've always taken fashion quite seriously, and I played a ton of fashion-based flash games on a website called girlsgogames.com. To get home from elementary and middle school and play a series of games such as dress up or makeup looks that were low budget games, but there were a few that stood out to me to this day, and I yearn for the type of entertainment and self-expression that they allowed me to have. Before I get into the video, I would like to thank Firmoo for providing me with these adorable pink and glittery heart-shaped glasses. Temporarily, I have a 50% off link to their website that is in my bio and down in the description below. Anything like I was growing up, having a wider selection of prescription glasses, yes, these are prescription glasses, was just a dream. And growing up, I did not feel my most diva or fashionista self when I saw that small shelf of glasses that my parents were like, this is the only thing we can afford. I had to wear those ones. I didn't like it. But today we have Firmoo, thank you Firmoo, that provides a huge selection of prescription lenses and gorgeous frames that you are able to choose from and feel like your most unique self. Now back to the video. Some flash games that altered my brain chemistry as a child and developed my style today. Starting off strong was a game that mysteriously disappeared from my early childhood and was reincarnated into a Facebook game that you might know as Pet Town, but I knew it as Pet Party. Pet Party was a very quiet or J-fashion based game that started you off with a cute chibi-styled pet, and you were able to save up in-game money and shop your heart's desire out for that pet. The game has also disappeared from Girls Go Games without much of a trace, shutting down on a random day of my summer childhood, making me sob actual tears. However, I wasn't informed that it was exclusively on Facebook under the name of Pet Town. Correct me if I'm wrong with the name. I'm pretty sure it was called Pet Town. Some information under a Reddit post calling it partially lost childhood media of some sort. In the game, you had a few places to travel in order to buy clothing and decorations for your home. The amount of customization was so impressive for my childhood self at the young age of 9. You were able to, in your home, develop friends and gift them some items, and also get married. Yes, you could have gotten married. You could have gotten in a relationship in this game, and it was the peak of popularity in my child's mind. The last bits of this gameplay online were so low quality, but you can really feel the Japanese style and fashion-esque that was very popular in the early 2010s. This had opened my mind up to loving kawaii and Harajuku fashion and wanting to dress exactly like my pet. I remember the homes were filled with decorations, and this is how we flexed as children. At least I thought we were all children. Homes to the max with furniture. It literally needed some sort of visual warning when you walked into some of these people's homes. You would walk through the houses on the main street of the game, and it would just be so embellished. The soundtrack of this game is also so lovely, by the way. The music was very playful, sounded a bit like Christmas jingles, and it consisted of the same bells and different rhythms. You can find the entire soundtrack on YouTube these days, but it's very muffled and low quality, and I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm not going to share that. I might put that in the description. It was the initial gateway to my fashion journey, and as I am 21 years old as of now, I would really wish to play this game once more. Not sure if it's still on Facebook, please let me know. I really don't want to play it on Facebook. To the next game called Our World. Oh, Our World. This game is significantly older and had a different vibe, throwing true spotlight onto scene and emo fashion. It was a flash game that was advertised everywhere online. However, I was the only person I knew that played it in person. It was advertised for an older audience, but I found ways around it. Vampire was primarily supposed to look like a vampire at all times. I was really into goth fashion. And I developed a few friends who were so dear to me. Rare items were frequently added to a series of the shops where you can collect them and have them age in inventory to flex. So many of these items, and this game was just so complex. There wasn't just one store, there were actual brands within the game. There was the lore behind NPC characters and the floating themes chat rooms. There was a huge map to explore, and it was literally like living a second life to me. Like, you had a condo, you were a resident. I believe you were able to raise literal creatures in your garden. You gain something called flow to help you level up through mini games and daily actions. And I can go on forever talking about the mini games and fashion stores because there were just so many. This game was so widely developed. Everyone's character was so diverse from one another. I mean, you were able to look at the boardwalk when the game was lively, and you would just see maximalism at its finest. Some characters had skates, knew how to fly, with different skin colors that they obtained through eating candies. They had sprites that flew alongside them, they had rare hairs that they traded for. The list really goes on, and having this amount of self-expression was so wild for my child brain to handle. I think it really impacted me to like alternative fashion as I do today. Our world unfortunately shut down just like Pet Party, but they had more of a warning throughout the game that they were going to shut down, and they do state that they will be back soon. So keep an eye out for that with me, will you? I will be back for sure. That I really want to talk about is Movie Star Planet, and yes, I know you've heard about this one because it was advertised on actual television in the early 2010s. I feel emotional talking about this one because it was the latest Flash game I played before the death of Adobe Flash Player, and I still have some friends that I have on Instagram now, but it saddens me because we don't talk as much. Memories that we made on this game are wild, and I hold them so dear to me. Do I really have to talk about MSP though? Because maybe the things that non-players didn't know. Yes, the rares, the boonies, which were the pets, and the movies that you were able to make with your friends, characters. Everyone knows that, but the animations, the drama, the hierarchy of popularity, the rise and fall of Pumpkin, who is the most famous person on the entire website that we don't even know her identity or age to this day. This was my high school drama before I was even in high school, if that makes sense. The scammers, the trades, art books filled with expensive rares, the VIPs who had access to things that regular players had none to, the dying of the entire game not because of just Flash, but because we've all aged. And Movie Star Planet is where I fell in love with pastel and cutesy fashion. I really liked wearing all pink, bows, having my big hair. You can see how it influenced me. And hanging out with my friends Brie and Abby online. I never did my homework for school. I just went home and played Movie Star Planet, honestly. And I made a few YouTube videos that I still have access to. And thank God, because I can share some of the clips with you that belong to me. Movie Star Planet still exists within the App Store, but the engagement and traction towards the game has declined oh so greatly. Like, they came out with MSP2, which was meant to save the game's legacy, but didn't survive. Neither did I even touch the game. And to be honest, I never really leveled up that far in Movie Star Planet, but I gained popularity within the game and online with a YouTube channel, and I was able to express my full fashionable divas-like self throughout the game's features. I do have an honorable mention. However, before I end this video, Everskies! Okay, so the fashion forum that is near to the internet and acts as a grown-up Movie Star Planet for me. I don't think it ever ran through Flash, but I could be wrong. If you're looking for a game close to these and you're feeling a little bit sad about the death of these games, Irguys.com is more of a modernized fashion website that allows you to customize your pixelated avatar in a huge variety of ways. Plus size characters are available, and most of the clothing in this game are size inclusive. Big plus because I did not have that as a kid. Like growing up, like I didn't see like multiple body types for characters. So I love that so much about Everskies. You can customize your Abby in many ways similarly to our world. They did remove the chat rooms, but if you're bored and looking for good conversations, some good advice, there are the forums and clubs, and definitely some competitions. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me on my Yapathon, my first video essay. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video as much as I liked making it, don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my socials for IRL fashion advice. Thank you, stay a diva. Bye.